Howdy all, I'm X Lives. I think it's time we play a little 7 Days to Die. I got attacked. Stupid. Stupid buzzards. Oh hey, look at I guessed right. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and rearrange this a little bit here, because I have the worst time getting on the ladder from overhead when I don't put in these gaps. Ooh, you sound really loud. Must be really close. I haven't even been in the old pill popper store yet. You gotta give me a minute to... Aw. That was a huge waste of my time. Give me a minute to get over here. So... Man, I tell you what. Today is such a busy day for me. I am jammed in between work, which I just finished, about 2 hours later than normal. I was ready to go on time, but the people who work on this stuff before I do didn't get finished on time. So I sat around waiting for my workload for the day. Which happens not irregularly, but it was long today. It was longer than I think I've ever had to wait before. So, whatever they were doing, I wish they had gotten on the ball a little quicker. Oh, oh dang it, I'm stunned. Oh, stop being stunned. This is, oh, this place is so full of, there are so many things in here. Oh. Oh. It's like I got that guy. Come on. I ran past like a dozen guys. Why don't you all... Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all just... Y'all just come out nice and slow. Preferably with your hands down. I prefer you not to have your hands up, because that means you're trying to grab me. Well, there we go. So yeah, we're in between. Usually, lately it seems like all I do is talk about my D&D games, because I spend so much time playing D&D. I've got one tonight actually, so I will be playing tonight, but that doesn't give me a D&D thing to talk about today. I can talk a little bit about the one that I talked about in a different video. So I did talk about my Sunday game already, because we did actually have our Sunday game this week, and I don't know what happened. Things just went horribly wrong. I think part of it is the lack of people using their special abilities. But basically wiped the party. Turned that into, instead of wiping the party, called it, they've been taken captive and are in the process of escaping. And so while I'm sitting around today, I realized I had forgotten to use that was a weird noise. I had completely forgotten to use the ability... I can't remember if I can make... I think they take duct tape, right, to make first aid kits. I had completely forgotten to use an ability called Polearm Master on the character that I play. Completely forgot the entire day. Never even crossed my mind. And so we're in this huge fight. There are guys everywhere, and I completely forgot to use an ability. Not just a ability, but 2 abilities that would have given me, like, I don't know, half a dozen to a dozen extra attacks before we got killed. Or got captured, I guess. Just never even occurred to me. I don't know why. Just completely slipped my mind. So, you know, they're not the only ones guilty. Although, to be fair, that character who I forgot to use... Holy crap, that's a lot of grain alcohol in there. 15 jars of it. Somebody got themselves a, Yes! I needed that. That said it was unlocked. I needed that basket to go on my bike. Oop, I need those too, right? No, I made some. I don't need those. So yeah, to be fair though, the character who I forgot to use Polearm Master on, actually probably killed half a dozen of the creatures. We only killed about 10. She killed probably 6 of them herself. So, but had she been using Polearm Master, she might have got a couple of more, which would have changed the results, I think, a little bit. But, you know, the monk wasn't using his special abilities, and I feel like the druid could have done a bit more. The archer forgot to use some of his abilities, which is also me. I realized today that I did not use Action Surge, which gives him a whole extra turn. And provided he hits, he does massive amounts of damage. He doesn't hit well, but he does massive amounts of damage when he hits. Like, if he hits, the minimum amount of damage he can currently do is 19. Which is insane. Although that's probably going to change next month. When the official version of Arcane Archer comes out. Right now I'm using the playtest version of Arcane Archer. And so I feel like some of those abilities are probably going to get reduced. Or at least tweaked a little bit. Maybe not, but I kind of feel the +1 automatic +1 to arrows, instead of just making them magical, making them +1 is a bit much, because that by default almost gives me +4 to my attack rolls and +2 to my damage. And so I random, man, I'm talking way more about D&D than I intended. I random roll our treasure. I don't pick our treasure because I don't want to, I don't know, it's just easier that way to random roll it. And so I actually random rolled archer bracers. I forget exactly what they're called, but they add 2 to my damage. So there's a +2 to damage. I have 5 dexterity, which adds 5 to my damage. So there's 7 damage. So if I hit, that's a minimum 7 right there. And then the +1 to my bow makes it 8, and then the +1 from the magic arrows from my class make it 9 damage. And then I've got the sharpshooter ability, which means I take I already know that, yeah. I take -5 to my attack roll, and I'm gonna have to build a chest to empty all this stuff out in, because I can't just carry this around. Where's my bike? I need to put on my basket. Basket. Yay! I thought I heard a growl. I see a zombie across the way there, but I don't see anything close. So nobody needs that. I should probably just eat those, right? So, when it comes to attack rolls, I get a +12. A +12? That seems a bit much. 2, 3, 5. That'd be 8. Oh yeah, no, it's I get 5 for my dexterity, 3 for my proficiency, which is an 8. I get 2 for my class feature, which is a 10. 1 for my bow, 1 for my arrows, so that's 12. 12 to hit. I reduce that by 5, so I already just have a +7, which is pretty strong. I have a +12, so that drops to a +7 to my dice rolls to hit. And so he hits pretty good, and he hits really hard because he's got the 9 plus damage plus the bonus 10 from sharpshooter. So had I used action surge, I would have gotten two more attacks with him. So I'm as much at fault for what happened. Well, I'm totally at fault for it because I'm the DM. I over beefed up the encounter a bit, and then forgot to use my own abilities. Polearm Mastery allows my my warlock who uses a polearm to make an extra attack with the haft of the weapon, and then because I'm using Hex, that's 1d4, 1 4-sided dice damage if I hit, and plus a 1d6 for plus the 1d6 for ooh, are you thirsty? You're really thirsty. Plus a 1d6 for the hex damage. But I totally forgot about that, and then anytime a creature moves within 10 feet of her, she also gets an attack of opportunity, which you get one of those per turn. So over the course of the fight, at least 4 guys on separate turns moved within 10 feet of her. Oh, nice. I'll take that. So that was 4 attacks right there I didn't take that I should have taken. Because she doesn't use a reaction for anything else. So, yeah. I don't know. Screw that right up. Anyways, the thing I was gonna talk about today was, I figured today I could talk about shows. Haven't watched anything too horrified. You'd think I'd be all over the horror stuff since it's October. But, I've been watching Dark Matter, which is a sci-fi show. I guess you could pretend it's horror. I mean, it's sci-fi, right? So, sci-fi has always got that element of horror to it. But that show is really good. They have a character in it. I'm in season 3 now. They have a character in it right now that I feel legitimate anger toward over what has happened on the show. Not because I hate what's going on in the show, just because I feel he betrayed them, and it's fun. It's a group of mercenaries, I guess, thieves and mercenaries and stuff. Yeah, there they are. Couldn't find my jars. I figure I'd fill them back up while I'm here. Get their memories wiped accidentally. And so they wake up on board their ship and they have no memory of how they got there or who they are. And so then I'm on season 3. I just started season 3, so over the last 2 seasons of the show, which are about 13 episodes apiece. What is that? Oh, it's a daycare. Daycare's good though, right? Oh no, this is a school. School might be good. What is this? A house? I guess it's just a big house. Man, they got a huge garage. Let's check this place out. But so over a couple of seasons, you learn about the characters, and you find out their backgrounds, sort of. Some of them are a little more blatant than others. And so spoilers, because I'm sure I want to talk spoilers here. One of the characters is pretty awesome. Bioengineered human, escaped from the laboratory. One of the guys, I'm still not exactly sure what his deal is. Like, mercenary that got left behind and turned into a good guy? I'm not exactly sure how to peg him so far. And then one of the characters is a one of the characters. I guess the original crew, because they're on like crew mix number 4 or so right now. Which is something I like. I think it would be nice if I mean, I enjoy a show where the crew is always the same, but I also like a show where look, one of the two of us has got to do something here to get rid of this stalemate. So like the original crew was mercenary, the bioengineered character, and they go by numbers. So the order they woke up in first. So one is, that says unlock, dude. I don't know why you always do that. Hello, weird blocks just in the corner. What are you supposed to be? Speakers. Oh, because this is their theater room. It's a little weird you keep clothes in your theater room. Must have been their 3D glasses right there, right? So one is a guy who changed his appearance to look like a member of the Raza is the name of their ship, the Raza's crew, so that he could go after. Even 2 seasons later, I can't remember which one's which. Let's say 3, who is the mercenary, because he believes the mercenary killed his wife. We never saw any evidence of that. Oh no, I think we figured out that there was no evidence of that, and that it was probably this other guy, but they didn't follow up on that. So, and then 2 is the bioengineered character, and they have done a lot with her story. And Will Wheaton is if you know who Will Wheaton is, Will Wheaton is the guy who runs the company that created her. All I can think is, man, that dude is like the bad guy on so many things now. It's weird to me because when I was growing up, I watched Star Trek Next Generation, and he's a good guy on there. And so it's bizarre that he has just opted to go all bad guy since then. Oh man, you got a really, really rich house, and then your backyard is pallets? That's a weird choice. That's not the choice I would have made. Where is the garage? I can't figure out how to get into the garage from here. That's what I was looking for, was the... Where's the entrance to the garage? And then 5. 5 is a stowaway on the ship, and she's a standard tech girl. You know, all these sci-fi shows have one. You know, the girl who can fix anything. And then 6 is I don't know, he's still in the show at the moment I'm watching. 6 is the pilot, and he later turns out to be undercover officer. And so they got a pretty eclectic... Ah, there we go. There's the path in here. You know, I expected the garage to be... I'm confused. Like, I know I saw there was house over top of the garage. This is a big place. Did I get everywhere? I guess these are the rooms over top of the garage. Alright, I gotcha. I'm not confused anymore. And then this is just all big open back through here. I gotcha. So, oh, I didn't go back here. So, and it's set in a world where corporations rule everything, and they are right on the edge of a war between the corporations, and so they wind up having to pick sides between the various large corporations that basically own the galaxy. Oh, I forgot about 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. 4 is the exiled prince of a Asian-themed empire. I would say they were Japanese, maybe? They seem Japanese to me. But they don't just have Japanese people in their empire, so I can't call it a Japanese empire because they're not all Japanese. I assume Japanese because they seem very samurai-like, and that's Japanese. And so they so through the first couple seasons, trying to think what went down. They discovered 3, the mercenary, had a woman on board in a stasis pod, which is how they lost their memory. Was they believe 2 and 4 discovered that 6 was an undercover cop, and were going to kill him, and so 2 decided they were going to wait until they woke up to kill him, and so they all got in their stasis pods. I don't know why they were getting in their stasis pods. I guess they must use their stasis pods when they move from place to place because it takes so long. Because it's not one of those big houses. Because while they have FTL, the universe is still a giant place. And so it takes months to get from one place to another sometimes. So I can understand the use of stasis pods. And so 5 apparently, so they decided, they didn't actually show any proof. But 5 wrote a virus to wipe 2 and 4's memory, but didn't get a chance to test it first, and so it wiped all their memories, except the woman that 3 had, who was this. They're in love with each other. She has a disease that's not curable, and so he locked her in their vault to keep her alive until they could find a cure in stasis. I mean, it's not like he locked her in the vault. No, he put her in her stasis pod and then put the stasis pod separately from the rest of the crew in the vault, so remain safe. Didn't work out, but they tried, and so yeah. So at the point I'm at now, 2 found out that she's a bioengineered. That was an awesome episode too. 2 found out she was bioengineered, and there's an android too, who is pretty good, pretty funny in spots, and had an interesting arc there for a little bit where they gave her an upgrade that allowed her to seem more emotional. She saved the crew multiple times in contradiction to her programming, so she's a bit more than an android at this point. And man, this place I thought would have lots of stores, and it has nothing. I'm just gonna leave at this point, man. There's nothing here I want to even mess with. I just want some stores. Do they not exist anymore? I've gotten like 2 stores, I think, on this map so far. It is disappointing. I want a bookstore full of books. Full of books for me to read. I know, dude. You're hot, you're thirsty, whatever. We're just a little away from getting back to the bike, so I can just take the bike out of here. We'll go find a better place. Alright, now. I am here. I came from there, so we want to go... that way? I guess I want to go that way. On my slow bike. Slow bike to nowhere. So they eventually make it into some Six finds out he's an undercover officer. He decides to turn them in because they're wanted by the Galactic Authority. And then he finds out that the Galactic Authority is just really the muscle for the corporations. And so, while he thinks he's doing the right thing, he discovers that they're corrupt. And so he helps them escape from prison. One finds out that, or one already knew, but one is murdered by the guy he took the identity of. Not because he took his identity. Aw, man, this road just ends. Well, that's not helpful. Alright, well, I guess we'll go back up the hill here and take a right and see if we can find a road to the east that way. And so he's on and off the show a bit as the evil version of himself. Although that got taken care of. And which is why they never really solved who murdered his wife, because they killed the evil version of him and just moved on. So that would have been nice if they had figured that out. What else did I like? The tech girl is homeless. That's about all they know. She had a memory flash thing in the last episode I watched, which indicates she might have a sister who was adopted by wealthy people, but I'm not sure how accurate altered version of your memory would be. Like, she remembers the thing, but she knows it's not real, and then the not real version's like, look, you're about to lose this memory, so I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that you have a sister, and that she was, adopted. And I'm like, well, that's a little weird, because now it's not a memory, it's just some random dude in her head talking to her. Yeah. No, but it's a really fun show. And then 4, this is the I'll end on this, but 4 was knew he was the exiled prince of this empire, nation, whatever, and that's trader area, trader, and but he his stepmother had killed his father and blamed it on him, which is why he's exiled, and put her son on the throne. And so they wound up going to an alternate reality, which is fairly common in sci-fi, and met like the evil versions of themselves. I mean, not that they're good. This show does not have heroes. They're not heroes. They're not people who are doing the right thing. They're people who are trying to survive. And so they kill people a lot, just because they want to. So they met the unaltered version of themselves, maybe. The ones who didn't get brain wiped. And so he learned that a war had allowed his kingdom to end the civil war that it was currently engaged in. I think it's a civil war. And so he decided to, at the end of season 2, or toward the end of season 2, to give himself back his original memories and retake his kingdom. And he's evil now, and he makes me angry because he was one of the best on their team, morality wise, and now he just like he's willing to kill an entire station full of people to get his way. I mean, not that they aren't willing to kill a bunch of people to get their way as well, but the things they're doing are at a much smaller scale than plunging the galaxy into war so that he can reclaim his throne, which is one of the things he did. Killing members of the crew because they get in his way. You know, it's... And that's just crew... That's just the first iteration of the crew, because they added 3 more characters when they escaped from jail. They lost one of those, and then a second one of those, and a third one of those, and then they picked up... they just lost another member of the crew. I think they've picked up 2 more at the point I'm at. And so it is a fluctuating crew on who's there and who's not. This place looks like we might have a new place to search next time, maybe. Let's see if I can find a spot to call home real quick, and then we'll call it. But yeah, it's if you like sci-fi, it's not been too horror-based, I guess. They do an interesting thing with clones that I like, and where they use clones to transfer themselves, which is kind of a horror thing. And at least it's horrifying to me to go through the thought process. Alright, I lied. This will be the thing that I end on. So there's the concept of teleporting, right? And they're not sure that it is... It's currently not physically possible to actually teleport matter. And man, I don't see any stores that would be a good place to call home. And so they think that if we ever manage to, quote, teleport, what will actually happen is they'll make a copy of your consciousness, if they can figure out what consciousness is, and then put that into a new body someplace else. And so is that a book or a movie I was gonna watch or read? I don't remember. I think that was a book I was gonna read. And so now there's 2 of you. And so to teleport, what they actually do is they destroy the first one of you. So every time you teleport, you die. And but then the other version of you gets to live. It's like that movie, The Prestige. And so sure, you can maybe create a duplicate of yourself, but there's no way to actually transport matter from one place to the next. And so yeah, so that's kind of horrifying. They don't really do that on this show. Instead, they just send your consciousness, create a clone, and then when they're done with it, they upload the memories the clone created back into the brain of the person who jumped into a clone. And that's it. Oh, man, this is not a great town either. I don't see a lot of stores, but I do want to check out this school. Just because I would like to see if it's got a bunch of books. So, alright, I'm going to call it there. So click like if you like, subscribe to catch the next one. And I will talk to you later.